All right. Well, welcome to your legislature. I thank you very much for finding the time. I am pleased to be joined by our Minister for Labour and Immigration, Jason Coffey. This is the first time in many years that Alberta has a designated minister for immigration, which shows the importance we're putting on immigration issues. Jason is also being supported by a Parliamentary Secretary for Immigration, Mr. Mohammed Yassin from Calgary, who originally from Pakistan has been an engineer in Alberta for 40 years. This week, first of all, our government was sworn in just over 6 weeks ago. We're making progress very quickly to get Alberta back to work, to grow our economy, and to keep our commitments to Albertans. We've already introduced, I think, 10 bills in the legislature, many of which have been passed, including Bill 1, the Carbon Tax Repeal Act, that's saving Albertans at the pumps every day. We've also passed the job creation tax cut, and that will reduce by 1/3 taxes on job creators to help create more jobs. And we have also passed the Red Tape Reduction Act to reduce job-killing red tape burden on the Alberta economy. But today we're here primarily to talk about a bill that Minister Coffey introduced on Wednesday, the Fair Registration of Practices Act, which is a key part of our action plan for fairness for newcomers. This is our plan, our action plan, to speed up and simplify the process for foreign-trained professionals and workers to have their certification, credentials, education, and work experience recognized in Alberta. Alberta is blessed to have so many newcomers from around the world join us with their skills and education to help fuel our prosperity. But far too many of them face unemployment or underemployment in survival jobs because they cannot get their experience, education, and credentials recognized in Alberta. Now, some people, they get through it, they're very patient, it may take years, they finally get their engineering certificate, their medical license, or what have you. But in the meantime, many people go through terrible adversity, and many newcomers never get a fair shot at having their credentials recognized. We call it, in Canada, we joke about the problem of doctors driving taxi cabs, but it's not a joke. Too often, it's a reality. And I believe it is, first of all, a huge economic cost to our economy. We miss out on the talents, education, and experience of tens of thousands of newcomers from every corner of the earth, with accountants working as night clerks at corner stores, with lawyers working as security guards overnight, with medical doctors driving cabs. And this is not just an economic cost to Alberta, it's also, I think, immoral. It is unethical for us as a highly developed country to invite people here precisely on the basis of their education, experience, and credentials, only to fail to recognize the education, experience, and credentials, and to have those people working well below their skill level. It's almost, I think, a form of exploitation, which enrages me. And that is why we made the Fairness for Newcomers Action Plan a key part of our recent election platform. Minister Coffey, together with Parliamentary Secretary Yassin, have been charged with implementing the action plan, the first step of which was the introduction this week of the Fair Registration Act. It will impose, it creates a legal framework for the professional licensing bodies, the doctors, lawyers, nurses, teachers, all of them, to provide a fast and fair process for recognizing foreign credentials and experience. It imposes on them a 6-month deadline to offer an answer on an initial application for a professional license. It requires that they comply with 4 key principles in terms of fairness and accessibility in assessing foreign credentials, education, and experience. It gives the minister the power to penalize professional bodies that do not respect these new legal standards for fairness. Let me be clear, our goal here is not to lower the Canadian professional standards. One of the reasons people want to immigrate to Canada is because we have some of the highest safety standards. We know that our bridges are safe and our water is clean and our doctors and nurses are properly certified. We want to retain those high standards. But, so the point isn't about lowering the standards. The point is about applying those professional standards in a fair and fast way, so that we don't end up with newcomers with an endless multi-step process. They start with the language test, and then they have to take an initial certification exam, and then another test. And by the time they do that, their language test has expired. And then sometimes it goes on for years and years. I'll never forget the Syrian obstetrician I met here in Edmonton, who had delivered thousands of babies in her home country safely, came to Alberta, could not get anywhere towards her medical license to practice, and she broke down in tears telling me that she had spent 5 years cleaning hotel rooms. There's something profoundly wrong with that. So that is why I have a sense of moral urgency about this, and let me just underscore that the legislation that Jason introduced is just the first step. We will be also, it's all part of our Alberta Advantage immigration strategy, which we're happy to talk to you about. But the Fairness for Newcomers Action Plan includes an upcoming Premier's Summit on Fairness for Newcomers. I will convene all of the professional licensing bodies, immigrants, to tell their stories of frustration and success, as well as all of the major industry and employer groups and the media, to throw a spotlight on this issue. And through this act, through this action plan, Jason's office will be monitoring the progress of professional licensing bodies. We'll congratulate, maybe give some awards to the ones who are doing a good job. Let's make sure we do that at the summit. But we'll also, I will not hesitate to single out for public criticism those professional bodies that have unjustifiable barriers to employment and credential recognition for newcomers. We're also creating, as I said, an office with a budget to work on this. I have ensured that the issue of foreign credentials is on the national agenda when all of the country's premiers meet in Saskatoon a month from now. We will create an Alberta government mentorship for newcomers program to link public servants to newcomers to help them navigate the process of getting good jobs and getting their professional license in Canada, in Alberta. We will expand the work of the International Qualifications Assessment Service in the Government of Alberta that helps to provide a fair assessment. We will expand the availability of microloans, small loans, to newcomers who need a bit of financial help to get their licenses. Often, people are stuck in survival jobs to feed their family, their savings are being depleted, then they have to pay thousands of dollars for certification exams or thousands of dollars for supplementary courses. They don't have the money. A little bit of financial support can help them, bridge them into licensure, working at their skill level. We'll continue to support the work of immigrant settlement agencies that do good work in supporting newcomers. And we'll work with the federal government to offer pre-arrival orientation to people selected for permanent residency through the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program to help them develop an action plan to get their credentials recognized, to apply for and find work before they even arrive in Canada. So these are some of the measures included in our Fairness for Newcomers Action Plan.